getting you done, getting you there. The world has got you down, a smile on your brow. Put a little madness in your life. If life's made you out of shape and comics are your estate, put a little madness in your life. Come give your mind a cleanse. Tune in with pops and friends. Just turn on your Roku box and then put a little madness in your life. Put a little madness in your life. Yeah, yeah. Put a little madness in your life. At a cursed crossroads where souls collide, see the Prince of Darkness, see the Prince of Lies, while the world lies sleeping and the moon's aglow. They may meet with the devil, you know, when your heart is quaking and your soul can't rest. Open up the pages of the devil you know best. People face their demons as each tale unfolds, but the devil's in the details, and their fate's been sold. Hear their fate's been sold, and they're lost to hell. That's the deal you have to make with the devil you know well.
Once upon a modern time, in a little cul-de-sac, black characters from myth and rhyme decided to come back. They moved into a cuter house, they bought a boat and car, they got a job, they got a spouse, they're ready to go far. This modern life, with all its strife, is wilder than before. You won't forget the day you met the fables next door. You won't forget the day you met the fables next door.
Days a whole new world for Cyber Angel Nira-X. Across dimensions our heroines hurl, and her origins quite complex. The only survivor of a universe gone to peril and danger, the lady is dawn. She'll be born anew by the next day's dawn. She's Cyber Angel Nira-X. Get Nira-X Dark Seas from Bill Mouse now on Kickstarter.
It's a Critical Blast podcast.
That's
with
me.
our special guest, Bill Mouse.
That's him.
That's me.
And welcome, everybody. Welcome, Bill. For those you saw the ad,
Thanks, dude.
a really long ad. I can't do anything about it. Yes, The Devil You Know Best is out. It is a thing. You can get your copy at the link below the video. It's the second link below the video. Takes you to our, maybe the third link. Read. You guys got comprehension. You're buying books here. That's. I know you can read. You'll see our whole catalog. You can get The Devil You Know Best. And if you saw the itty bitty one right before that, or right after that, for the book we're reading for now, all you would-be writers or writers who are looking for an outlet, The Fables Next Door is what we're reading for now through the end of the month. We do have stories submitted and accepted to that from Alan Dean Foster and Bill Willingham, so you will be in good company if you get selected into that mix. Bill,
RJ, what's up, man? How you doing?
I've been kind of busy lately. It's been a good week.
It's been a super busy week. Actually, your voice is just a little bit choppy. I was noticed somebody said something about sound issues.
Let me look.
I think you're okay, but it just sounded a little choppy. That's all. I was wondering. Oh, never mind. He got it fixed. We're good. As long as you guys can hear us good. All right, that's good.
Oh, okay. That's Wayne. Wayne's having sound issues. I got you. Okay, and no sound. Yeah. If there's no sound, there's a serious
yeah,
problem.
that's bad. Pops, how you doing, man?
We got Pops and Wayne, and we got a new face out here, Omni. Yo, glad to see you, man.
How you doing? Yeah, I'm glad everybody's out here hanging
Mike
out,
Walters
talking about
dropping to
comics.
share and say hi. Gray Wolf
Thanks,
Graphics
dude.
is out
Hello.
there.
Awesome.
A lot of people always here to visit with Bill. I notice every time you come on, there's like, oh wow, I've got actually double digits of people watching now. That's new.
No, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I really do.
And there's a whole new thing going on.
I wouldn't be able to draw comics without you.
You could, but there'd be less incentive.
Yeah, but it would just be for me, myself, and I. That's no fun. It's like comics and art. That's how I've made friends and associates and fans since day one. So it's kind of what I live for. It's kind of my thing, my stuff. Well, so without that, there's not much Bill left over.
Yeah, I can understand that. Between I'm in the middle of shipping and publishing, which is all taken off. I'm like, I didn't plan to do both at the same time. It's like, hey, in between, one, I'll do the other.
Right.
That doesn't happen anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed the month gets a little bit busier. I said busier. That's
easier.
That's how busy I've been this week. That I'm slurring my words as though I wish I had a drink. Actually, all I've got is some water.
When you did a little Lewis Carroll portmanteau thing there. When you're as busy as a bee, you're busy.
You're busy, apparently. But I don't enjoy. I enjoy the industry. I enjoy anything that actually makes it possible to create the stories and draw them and put them in the hands of people and be able to share that. So anything that makes that possible, I do enjoy it. But there's a lot of hats that I didn't sign up for. Well, promotion, half of that is fun. Half of it is like, I'm spending a lot of time promoting, because if I don't, people don't know that we're here. Right. So I don't have a publishing arm that's out there promoting for me. It's not the 90s anymore. And I don't have, I don't have a team of people. So it's like, all of us independents are doing a lot of things that we used to have a team of people for. So we're wearing a lot of different hats, splitting up our day with a lot of different tasks,
And that's why you can't do a book every 30 days anymore, because you're everybody now in the company.
It's impossible. I kind of compared the way we drop books now to, say, a band dropping an album. It's just like, this is the new album. This is the new thing that this particular person and or group is releasing. So this is so that's what the Nira-X Dark Seas is right now. That's the little 3-issue miniseries. So that's the album that we're dropping. So issue 2 is our current album.
Yeah, the only difference being, the previous album in music usually doesn't end in the middle of the chorus. And
there you go. If I could, I'd release all 3 at the same time, or just do like a 40 or 60 page, graphic novel. I would like to release it like that, but at the same time, the logistics, the word logistics, the logistics of being able to take that much longer to produce something to then get paid for it. So, and honestly, I like collecting the floppies. I like collecting the floppies for my long box. But at the end of the day, I like having trades and hardcovers for my shelf. You know what I mean? Yep. For the coffee table book. And
I showed you this before the show started. If you like floppies, people, guess what? We're making them. We're making floppies. This is Melvin number 1. If you like trades, we're making them. This is a manga-sized trade, and we even have them in pocketbook. Shillings over. You can find all of these books in the same link I just told you about. So
there you go.
Oh, and yes, George, we have Joe King versus Jobs. He would be like, "Hey, you left me out." Didn't mean to. He read the first couple books.
Yeah, me, you, and George will be talking about some stuff later on over the next couple of months.
I
and,
told nobody this. So you're telling people for the first time.
I'm telling, yeah, I'm scooping it right now. It's a scoop. It's a scoop on your channel first, because where else would we scoop it first? This would be the most ideal.
I wanted
place.
to tell people that, like, there's nothing in
There isn't. There's nothing shaky about what's going on with some of the projects that you and I have been talking about. So yeah, we've got some exciting things planned for Critical Blast and the old Mouse House, the old the Entity Studio house. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I'll say no more, but I'll tease that much. Yeah.
Yes. Pops is on your promotions team. Pops is a brilliant promoter out there, tireless promoter. I'm a tired promoter. I take nights off.
I'm a tired promoter. But right now I'm a tired creator. So, but after some pizza and a little bit of sleep, I'll be back to full power. I'll be good.
I got to get some pizza this weekend. I've been a good boy all week. It's time for a cheat day again. You
got to do it. I mean, my doctor
hit 2 records today,
right?
Yesterday and today.
Okay.
I got down to 205.
Awesome. Good job.
And I got up to 100.
Nice.
With each, now, granted, they're only 12-pound weights, but if you do it till you're tired, it's still just as good.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like it almost doesn't matter what kind of exercise you do. You just have to do something that you will continue doing all the time. That's why there's so many different machines. And let's see, my face popped off. Can you still hear me? There I am. Okay.
You froze, but you're still here. I still hear you. You've been freezing off and on. I haven't bothered.
Really? Okay. I don't know if the Wi-Fi is having a hard time keeping up or not. So we'll power through.
Yeah, just a bit of stuttering video.
A little bit of stuttering. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
some of the proceeds from our Kickstarter will go towards maybe hardwiring some Cat 5 cable up to the studio instead of relying on the signal extender.
A drill and 50 feet of cable.
That's what I'm talking about.
Go to Walmart and take care of this. Yeah, what we did for fun this week.
Right.
We redesigned the logo.
Gotcha.
All the logos.
Uh-huh.
We're like, we're getting ready to do the whole incorporation business. The
nice,
words.
Nice.
Like, what do we really want to call things? Do we want to just say Critical Blast and Critical Blast Publishing and Critical Blast Logistics?
Right.
And yes, we do. But and you won't see it on the logo, but the overarching umbrella is going to be Critical Blast Productions, and then underneath that we'll have logistics, publishing, promotions. So
right. It sounds legit, man. It's like the titling and what you're actually calling your different branches. That it all sounded legit. Yeah, there was no reason to change any of that. So sounds good.
Well, we're on our 10th year with this name, and honestly, the name came about because out of the brainstorming session, it was the first one that nobody had taken across all the social medias.
Right.
Lock it down before it goes.
Yeah,
whether it's good or not. We have 2 words that no one's used before in a row.
And that's a rarity. It's like, it doesn't matter what title or whatever I come up with. I'll go right to Google. I'll search to see if somebody else has got something similar or something else. And I'm just like, every single word under the sun has already been used. So if you found something, it
can be chocolate crabs and has nothing to do with your business. But if it's available, take it.
I guarantee there's a place called Chocolate Crabs somewhere in Wisconsin.
If not, there will be in an hour.
Exactly. They're locking down the website name right now because they think it's a restaurant. It's like, all right, we're going to charge these guys $500 to take the name back.
Yes. Oh, remember when people used to do that?
Sketchy. They still do that. Okay, let me tell you a quick story, if you don't mind, about that specific thing. All right, so here's what happened. My website, my webpage, my personal webpage, it's billmouse.com. I got it on my little name right here. I got the whole thing. It used to be, and all of my other social media, everything is Bill Mouse Art, just one word, It makes it easy to find me. It's Bill Mouse. There's a couple other Bill Mouses in the world. I put art on there because it's like, all right, that's the comic book guy. I know which one it is, so you can click on it. I was waiting to transfer or renew my personal webpage, the Bill Mouse Art webpage. I think I was hosted through Bluehost or something like that before I jumped into what I got now. And it lapsed like not even 20 minutes, not even an hour. It lapsed and somebody grabbed it. And then I immediately went to the thing and I was just like, because, it's like they immediately put up a page saying, it's like, oh, this name is actually taken. Like you can't use this name to make a new website or blah, blah, blah. But it's for sale for only so much money. So they were trying to pull
amount of money.
It's extortion. Yeah, I would have had to pay. I think that the price they stuck on their page was this $1,900 price tag, and I'm just like,
the only one who would pay for it.
I'm the only guy who would use this at all. I don't think Art Spiegelman is going to pay money for Bill Mouse art.
No,
and it's the only other person with a mouse name that draws comics. And I don't have a vodka company or something. I don't. So they thought they could extort the money or whatever, and they kept that on.
Isn't like the early days of the internet and finding out that McDonald's.com is available and like.
Right, exactly. So I was just like, well, you know what? I'll just go BillMouse.com. I actually have BillMouse.art and I have that out of spite. I mean, I have it it's a placeholder. I'll pay $10 like forever just to have it. But I got that one out of spite. So the BillMouse.com is what I use now just for the webpage. But I refuse to give them blackmail money.
Whenever they come up with a new domain name, it's like my hosting site emails me says, "Hey, do you want to lock down criticalblast.sex right now?" I'm like,
right,
no,
.sex.
Not really.
Well, we've got lots more content coming, so maybe that .sex will come in handy. Never know. With all these Bill Mouse nude covers, maybe we'll just start posting them there.
Are there Bill Mouse nude covers? Let's talk about some art now.
Well, I mean, there's no Bill Mouse nude covers, but I've drawn a lot of nude covers. Yeah. Nobody's gonna. Yeah, people will pay me good money to make sure I keep my clothes on. Trust me.
Look, that was my investment strategy. Similar to my investment strategy.
I draw 90s, pretend people.
Yeah, pretend people.
Yeah.
In the late 90s, I did my first foray into the stock market. And I largely did it because I found out that the Marvel stock certificates, or rather the annual report, was a comic book. Like, how limited edition is this thing? I want one. I just so I put money into Marvel. And while I was at it, I'm like, well, while I'm putting money into Marvel, why don't I just diversify my investments? I put money into Marvel. I put money into LA Gear. I put money into Levitt's Furniture.
Okay.
In 1 year, bankrupt.
Wow.
All three.
Good God.
So my plan was to take those sheets and approach other, CEOs and say, look, for $10,000 a year, I swear I will never put a penny in your company. And if I could get like just 10 of them to do that, I have to work with them.
This RJ guy has a dark power. Pay him to stay away.
It's $10,000 a year. Your minimum wage workers are pulling more than that out of your pocket.
Oof, man.
Kevin's going to bleach his eyes now.
Hey, Kevin, what's going on, man? I'm glad you're here, dude.
It's I never know when I'm talking to an artist, what they do and what they don't do, because you'll see some artists that like, I'm doing sexy prints. I'm like, oh, can you do? Oh, no, I don't go that far. I won't.
Right, whatever the thing is. I noticed that too with a few different cosplayers over the years. It's like nobody specific that I have in mind, but there's there's a lot of cosplayers will do lots. It's a wide range. Okay, they do like normal cosplay. They do lingerie, and then they do like nudes on the other end of the spectrum, and there's so many that do that they have like kind of like a small, medium, large kind of setup for their thing, that somebody eventually will show up on somebody's page and ask the question is like, oh, do you do nudes? Like just as an honest question. But honestly, if you're getting asked the same question by 50,000 people or however many fans you have, I'm sure it gets annoying. And I'm sure, and if it's somebody who does not do that sort of stuff, sort of content, they'll get upset and they'll be like, how dare you assume that I would do this? That's like going to like I go to a car garage and I just assume that they also do tires. It's like, well, it's a car garage. They usually do everything. Not that I want to force anybody to do everything. It's like, I want you to do what you want to do. And I want everybody to be comfortable with whatever content they want to, actually create. Okay. So the point of this is not to say that, oh, you should do it all. If you're in a bikini, you ought to be naked. I'm not saying that at all. But if somebody asks a question and they sort of assume because so many other people are doing it, it's just an honest question. There should be a FAQ or something like that to kind of help people along.
It should.
Yeah,
and if somebody's walking around the con as Lilu,
right,
you would almost expect you already are kind of sort of the Princess Leia chainmail just isn't doing everything.
Right. So, and I get to ask the same question about the art. Like what level of adult? Because I'll say like I do nudes or like nude covers. And then I also do adult art. And then people will ask me, and like I can never get a chip on my shoulder or get tired of the question being asked because they just honestly don't know. And they're being respectful enough to ask me because there might be something that I'm uncomfortable doing. Maybe there's some things that I don't want to do. It's like it's art. You want to have that choice. So I get asked all the time, like, okay, if I wanted this, is this too much? Is this too far? Like they just want to draw the line in the sand of. So that way, when they do ask me for something, it's not something that they already know that I'm going to say no to or be like, oh, like you already knew I didn't do that sort of stuff or whatever.
When I find out that an artist does nudes, it's already too late. Because, for instance, I've seen a lot of work being called up from the archives of Dan DiCarlo, and I'm like, he did that? Oh, wow. I would have approached him at a convention a long time ago and done this.
Yeah, but when you find out Dr. Seuss did like some crazy artwork back in the day, it's like it kind of it's a little eye opening. It's like you didn't assume, and now that we live in
the Betty and Veronica guy, he's not going to draw them in the shower. Yeah, he did. Together.
And now we live in an era where fans have direct access to the people they collect from. So, you're no longer going to a company or asking an agent or asking a store owner or, like that's the only access you would have to find out what that artist does. You actually have access to their personal Facebook and their personal Instagram,
so assuming the artist puts it out there, but.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We live in that day and age when, it's like, it's no longer A to B to C. It's like it's direct to the fan, direct to the customer, direct to the collector.
I talked with an artist at the Chicago Comic-Con back when there was such a thing. C2E2 ain't it, guys? Sorry. But there were comic book companies there.
Yeah,
there was somebody drawing Archie. Yeah, all of them were there.
Right.
And there was somebody in the artist alley drawing Archie, and I don't know if it was Dan Parent or not because it was like 1980. And I don't know that Dan's that old. Maybe he is. But he was drawing this gorgeous group scene in color of all the Archie characters, but they were the Legion of Superheroes. And I was like, oh, that's amazing.
That's pretty dope.
I never thought of that.
That's dope.
What's the strangest thing that somebody's came up to you to mash up? He stops, puts the pen down. He's like, yesterday, I had somebody ask me to draw, and apparently he drew. So if you've got this picture, please let us see it.
Right.
Mr. Weatherby getting spanked by Miss Grundy in fetish gear.
There you go.
That's out there somewhere in the world, folks.
It exists. It's out there in the world. Well, I mean, the idea of taking something in your imagination and putting it on paper, and well, like I said, art is that's how I've made friends ever since I was a kid in school. The other kids in my class were like, oh, draw this, draw that, whatever, and that's how you started becoming friends, and everybody kind of figured out what everybody's interests were depending on what we were drawing and this and that. So I just kind of carried that throughout my whole life, I think. So,
You know what I find funny is that you'll see these campaigns and it'll be like, hey, here's the character,
mhm,
our main female character. This is our standard cover. Oh, here's
mhm.
our spicier cover where she's topless, and here's our wild cover where she's bottomless. I'm like,
Right, right.
okay, since we have digital art, it's just clothed or not clothed. The same amount of work went into this one as went into this one, but this
Mhm.
one's $75 and this one's 20. What happened here?
Yeah,
Somebody's taking
yeah, yeah.
advantage of somebody.
Yeah, I see how the pricing goes, and I see how well, just like some of the manga books that I'll pick up manga books, especially like when I go to San Diego Comic Con. There's usually a couple of publishers or a couple of, like bookstore type of booths, just selling books, and some of the manga that they've got are like some of the adult manga that I never see in the shop. It's stuff that I never really see when I go to stores, or just because it's from overseas or whatever. And they have like a huge selection of it, but like little thin comic book, with a cardstock cover, like a good quality printing, but you're really only paying for like a little 20-page thing. But it's so cool to buy something that's like, oh, like this, Japanese artist. And it's like, I've seen this artist before. I want to buy that particular material or whatever. And it's like a $40 book or a $60 book. And it's just, it's bigger dimension wise, but feels thinner than a normal comic book you see on the newsstand. When it's like real flat. It's like I'm buying a brochure for $40.
And some
But I
of that's
like the art
demand.
so much, and it's like it's kind of cool to collect
Yeah.
those. So yeah,
Some of it's supply and demand. It's from Japan. You don't, have full
right,
access
right.
to Japan, so it's harder to get.
Well, and the fact
But
that it's
there's stuff
it's
you can print
adult
on
it's adult
demand.
work. Yeah. Oh yeah, 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 for sure. Well, it's just like a statue. I mean, you see certain statues. If it takes the same amount of effort and the same amount of plastic and PVC to create this statue as it does this statue. But this one's of a popular character, and this one's of a character you've never seen before in a pose that's kind of lame. So this one's $10 and this one's $100. It's like it's the same material, same effort, same molding, same process, same cost to make it. But that's the reality of those types of things.
Well, speaking of making books and making art and nude
Yes.
things, uh, here's no nude stuff here. This is Nira-X.
Yeah, yeah. We finally broke 10,000, and this
Yeah,
is we're breaking 10,000. Like this is about as grassroots and organic, and with the algorithm against us as you could probably get. So I'm super thankful that for the backers that we have got 191 backers I see, and yeah, it's like I want to keep on growing and keep on moving forward, and each issue hopefully keep on getting a little bit bigger. But this is great. This is fantastic.
do you feel that Nira-X has got a long future under your tutelage,
I
or
think so. Yeah, I think so very much, and it's only because I've already been drawing her for 30 years. And
I didn't know if you wanted in or not, Pops.
Pops, what's going on, dude?
Before we go forward, I want to take you guys backwards.
There you go.
Okay,
I found this the other day when we
Yep.
were doing the show-off show,
Uh-huh.
and I look up in the corner and it says Bill Moss.
That's it.
I was
That's it. Yeah, we did
another
skin.
Bill
We did
Moss
that was
book.
our Gen 13 parody that we did called Skin 13.
It was another Bill Moss book that I had that I didn't know. I was telling everybody about
That was not that my painted stuff could ever come close to Beasley's artwork, but that was my little homage to the Beasley heavy metal cover.
This is really, really good, guys. This is black and white, and I've been
Is
having
this something we can show on YouTube, Pops?
Oh yeah, it's
cover
all
all
every,
the bits up.
yeah, they're all censored.
Very
Yeah, it's all
impressed.
censored.
Oh,
But
took
I
all the fun out
mean, it's amazing, dude. This book is so funny. I've been laughing my ass off. You can see I am actually reading it. I am actually
There you go.
reading the book right now.
Excellent.
Dude, Bill, yo.
Thanks, man.
And yeah, I'm wrapped up in a blanket because I've been sick as hell all day. So
Oh, dude, feel better, man. Well, hopefully the comic book will entertain you until you can.
I've seen you win over 10K. I want to say congratulations. Let's pump
Thanks,
that
man.
200 backers, guys. Come on. Backer count
For sure,
is
for
more
sure.
important than the money. Okay? The more
I want to get
books
as many
go
backers
out,
as I can because
people get
I still.
to read, that's
Yeah,
more important than how much money you make. It's how many hands get the book. Okay? Get the book in people's hands, man. That's
and
what
I definitely want to twist Tom's arm. He had this this idea of if we reached 500 backers, we were going to give away the inked 11x17 cover art for the all out action cover. But I think, you know, if we, you know, breaking 200 backers, we can get as close to 300 as we can. You never know. I mean, we got a few days left. We'll see how many backers we get. I'll try to convince Tom to still give this away. And this is also going to be given away. What he's going to do is going to take everybody's backer number, put it into a randomizer, and pick out a winner. But also, you don't have to simply be a physical backer to be eligible to win the art. You could be a digital backer also. You could just be a digital backer. So just to let you know that even if you only get the digital tier of the book, you're still eligible to win artwork. So yeah.
And, we were supposed to have Bill on Doc's Coffee Shop yesterday. Hope everything's okay.
Thank you, dude. Yeah, my dad, I had to take my dad into the hospital yesterday. We had to make sure that he didn't have COVID. He's got a serious flu, chest congestion thing. And at his age and where his health is at, that's too serious to ignore. So luckily, no COVID. We're good. Apparently, and he's a hardcore, you know, heavy working Navy man officer, you know, he's a 1950s, 1960s Navy man, you know, so
it's hard on him, isn't it? It's hard.
He powers through. Yeah, he powers through. So for him to tell me that he needed to go see a doctor, that was I knew it was serious enough that I couldn't ignore it. So I appreciate it, Pops, and Doc. You know, sorry that, you know, we had to miss the episode and everything. I'm glad everybody understands. Yeah,
it was awesome. We had Les Garner jumped in your place at the last minute. We still, you know, talked a little bit about this, and then we talked about his book. But you know, he's doing a book with Dirk Manning, dude. Homestead, that shit's bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, working with Dirk too. Yeah, Dirk's good. Dirk is good people, man. I love Dirk.
I do too, man. I got to meet him a couple times at the cons, you know, and he's a nice guy, you know.
No, he's super nice guy. He's part of a group of artists, writers, publishers that I met up in Chicago. We were doing Chicago Con, and you know, a couple of the shows that are like between like New York and Chicago, and we were kind of in that circuit. Yeah. It's a really good group of people. Yeah.
You know? Look, all them people, Kaylin Smith, all them people from that crowd are freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ops, I got to come on your show too, because did you see the beginning of the show here? This stuff here?
No, I didn't. But Monday, guys, Monday Madness. You're both invited.
I want to show you something about this book. Bro. This is Tim Olson's Melvin, right?
Yes. Where is that? Where is that at? Where can you find that at?
You can find it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart, Books A Million, or you can go to the link below and get it straight off of our website. You can get it; it'll come to you straight from the printer. And by the way, if you do that, Tim gets a bigger chunk of money because Amazon's not taking any.
There you go. Yeah, always go to RJ first, but if you find it somewhere else and you can't get it, you know, get it. Just get it. All these books, man.
You know, and you want, like, you know, bigger books. We do have text novels, like, you know, well, I say text novel, but you know, we got
The Mafia in Hollywood. Who would that be by?
Mm-hmm.
Who did
this
that?
is Wayne Klingman's book.
Wayne Klingman is doing a show on Madness starting next week.
Yeah, he's going to come on your show and talk about crime and
no, he's starting his own show. He's starting his own show on the network about true crime and conspiracies.
That's right.
On the network.
Pops, watch your mail. Watch your mail because
dude,
this one's a bigger boy than the last two.
That's perfect timing because I'm in the last Soreman in the Shire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Soreman in the Shire in the Return of the King, so I'm right at the end of the book, so that'd be perfect. I won't even have a break and something to read. Sweet. I'm gonna get out of here though. This is Bill's time. Bill, you guys both come out Monday for Monday Madness, and we'll talk about this and that. And
Yeah,
everything.
talk about more stuff. All things common. We're creating a new era this decade, so this is a good time for us.
Yes, 5:00 p.m. Eastern. Be here, both of you.
Got you, man.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Call me if I missed it.
All right, man.
I'll be in touch with you.
All right.
Peace, everybody.
All right, man.
See you, Pops. So yeah, we said 10,000 more to hit that next stretch goal. And,
That's it. Only 10,000 more. We have 5 days. We'll do it.
Yeah. and really like the first 5 days and the last 5 days are really all that count.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I do the same thing myself with a lot of campaigns. When I'm supporting a campaign, I kind of wait until like the last few days to jump in myself, because I usually scroll up and down and see what I really want or this and that, and see what sticks to me, and then I usually jump in like the last 4 or 5 days. So it's like totally understand that. That is tradition.
So we know that that this has got Nira-X waking up in a pirate world. They're after a treasure, but it's more than that, because when Nira goes anywhere, from what I'm understanding,
Yes,
it's to stop the universe from being destroyed, so that nobody ends up like she.
Well, yeah, one of the driving story arcs that's kind of driven her over the years is that when her brother created this experiment, this temporal experiment that was causing all this temporal paradoxes, she kind of gets swept up into it. So wherever paradox shows up where he's not supposed to on the timeline, see, I mean, she's completely against time travel. She doesn't want to time travel because she knows the damage that it can do. But she gets dragged to wherever paradox goes, and she has to neutralize and take care of paradox wherever he is, because he's not supposed to be there. And it causes more trouble on the timeline. But here's what's happening with the committed story that we're in right now. All of those it was getting almost a bit too much. Like I love time travel stories, and I love kind of like writing it into circles and all that good stuff. But what I wanted to do with this story was tell a straightforward story, but still have those elements there. You know what I mean? So instead of continually time traveling back and forth and sort of confusing the reader as to where are we and when does this actually take place in her life as far as like her story goes, we've consolidated all of those adventures into this one place, this one world called Oasis. Oasis is where this is all taking place now. And Oasis is a patchwork similar to, say, Warworld.
Okay.
So you got different
mosaic.
era. Yeah, it's a mosaic of different eras, different times mixed up. You know, like you got the Old West, you got a futuristic city, you've got tribes, you've got kind of a Forbidden West Aloy situation going on with some of the people, because for them that's the only life they've known, for the world to be like this. Maybe there's people in this world that remember the way it used to be, that the world was actually just normal, the way it should be. So she's traversing this world as opposed to traveling back and forward in actual time. So, you know, our Earth exists somewhere in this universe. You know, it's out there somewhere, but her world is this patchwork, and it's sort of a way of trying to sweep up and mop up the mess that destroyed all those timelines in the first place. So this is what's left over, and it's being put together into this place, and that's where she's having her adventures right now.
Because her original universe was destroyed, right? I mean,
yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in fact, the cyber skin, that's that belt that she has on her leg. And all the other cyber angels, if they are a cyber angel, they all have a cyber skin. And it's this technology that comes from that timeline that doesn't exist anymore. It's just this really advanced timeline. It sort of acts like a symbiote in the sense that it molds and creates their costumes, and it uses their energy that they have in their bodies in order to power the suit, in order to form weapons, and in order to fly, in order to have, all the different, and each cyber angel, their powers are unique to them. So Nira's powers are different from, say, any of the other cyber angel characters. They all have a different set of different power sets.
Yeah. It would be boring if they all did the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So they all do very different things. I mean, they can't all form weapons. They can form clothing and things like that, but they all form. Their powers all work very differently. Like Allura has this blue plasma, and this blue plasma builds up, and she could form blades and wings, and if she builds it up too much, she explodes. And she's strong enough that she could survive the explosion. But then, yeah, exactly. It's a Taco Bell evening, so it's a. But she survives the explosion. But then she has to build up power. So the power that they all feed off of is temporal energy. That's the source of their power. And if you sort of think of it as Kal-El absorbing sunlight into his cells, into his the sunlight, the way his body drinks up sunlight. It modifies his cells, his bones, his structure. It gives him all the different powers that he has. They absorb temporal energy. And the way that they do that is simply through the passage of time. You can almost think of all these characters as video game characters and watching their health bar over a couple of minutes kind of build back up, simply because the passage of time is just happening constantly. So if they use up all of their energy, they're vulnerable. They can't really do much. But as they start building up their energy again, they could start using their cyber skins again. They could start actually flexing their strength and have the power of flight and have the power, whatever their unique powers are to each character, they start building up the full strength again. So that's like sort of a, not really a boilerplate, because I tend to ramble when I'm explaining things verbally. So I'm a lot better at putting things down on paper. So I have plenty of time to think it through and actually put it on paper.
Now, we assuming that nobody refunds in the next 5 days and that you continue to go upward, you have crashed through the stretch goal for the keychains.
Yeah, I'm so happy about that. That was the original Nira-X logo that we used when we first started publishing with Committed Comics. That was the Nira-X logo, as it was, that silhouette with her wing, with the weapon, and
I'm looking at this and I know exactly what I want as a stretch goal for the next campaign. If you're listening to fans,
I'm listening, and I'm also twisting Tom's arm constantly. So.
Okay. if you get the right stretch goal in the next campaign, you decide where that is. I want mirror image Nira-X chrome mud flaps. You know the ones I'm talking about. Just
that'd be pretty
put
cool.
The wings on, and you're good to go.
That sounds pretty cool. I'm not opposed to that. That sounds like a cool idea.
Even just vinyl clings. I'll settle for vinyl clings that are reversible.
That would be sweet. That would be really cool. I wouldn't put them. I wouldn't put them on my car, but I would definitely have them in my studio.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the jacket from Hell.
Oh, your thick jacket. Yeah. You're bulletproof now.
I'm very bulletproof, but two of the patches I have on here, just got to come out, are these Jean Grey patches here.
Yeah. Yep. Mud flap pose. Yep.
Yep.
Perfect. I miss my jean jacket. I used to have a kick-ass jean jacket. It had all my buttons, had all my patches, and I airbrushed the big thing on the back. It was like that was my go-to, man, for years.
Did you have Van Halen and Megadeth drawn in blue ballpoint pen on the sleeve anywhere?
I did not, but that would have been dope.
Everybody did that when I was in high school. Like, doing my favorite rock band's logo on my jacket in ink.
But yeah, super happy that we broke the 10,000 barrier, as it were. So it's from here it's like it's good stuff. And then we're continually working on the book. I've got a few more pages. There's some more previews, I think, that are on the campaign page. I've got I think I've got the this one up on the campaign page. Sort of a little. They're on this pirate ship, of course, and a lot of zombies and pirate zombies. And I've got this really big guy is going to come in from underneath the ship, and that's our big nemesis. That's going to be our big dude for the issue.
Release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken. Yeah, we have when we were publishing Nira at Avatar Press, we had this evil area of our game map, as it were, right? Called the Darkon's Triangle, and it was like the evil guy that actually was the evil energy at the center of this thing with this character named Darkon. I'm very 90s. I name everything very 90s-esque.
Blood Dark, Darkon,
So
Bone Dark.
Right. It's like all those very, very typically 90s era kind of names. So I wanted to bring Darkon back, but I didn't want him to be the kind of bad guy you can actually reason with, So he's just this huge kind of a force of nature, like lumbering, centurion giant, character coming up out of the ocean instead of this normal sized guy that's like, I'm going to take over the world. See, 1940s. See, that's the way he was before. It's like, oh, I hate all the Cyber Angels. See, I'm going to destroy them all and take them over. So now he's this huge, lumbering, just rock of a character, just standing up out of the ocean, kind of Pacific Rim style. And I don't know if anybody's played like the Shadow of the Colossus or anything like that. Those huge characters. You don't talk to them. You don't reason with them. It's like talking to a storm. It's like talking to a tornado. It's like they're there. And it's like you have to survive it. So that's the kind of character I wanted to have him actually be for this story. So I'm taking different twists on a lot of the characters that were part of her rogues gallery from back in the 90s.
You remember I said earlier about an hour ago that we all get our turn to be the a-hole in life?
No, we all get our turn.
I took mine during the show, apparently, because I'm sitting here going on and on about, hey, this cover. Nude cover's $5 more than the regular cover.
They're always more. It's a premium thing. It's an extra thing. And it actually took less digital pixels to produce it because they took it off.
Yeah.
But you know what? I do have to address this cover though, because very topical, especially this week with Spawnuary. I don't know if you've been reading some of the things about the old Spawn contest.
Yes.
And so anyways, I have to point out that I realize that AI has been around for about 8 or 10 weeks. But this particular artist, Thad Rhodes, I completely trust him. I've known him since we were in junior high school. I've known him a lifetime. And he's been doing digital art like this with Photoshop and hand-drawn and digital tools and whatnot. He's been doing that for about 25 years, give or take. And this is something he spent about 2 weeks creating. So and when you see the book, you can't really see it too good on this version of it. But when you see the book, you'll actually be able to see his pencil rendering underneath all of this digital color. So I just wanted to assure people that, because it is a concern, AI is a very, very triggery. It's a very triggery topic, very, very hot topic right now. No AI was used in the creation, and also no animals were harmed in the creation of this comic book.
all models are age 18 or over with certificates on file.
Exactly, and they're all cartoons. They don't exist. So
that's a great looking print, by the way, if it's not one already.
Yeah, she's that piece came out really, really nice, and it still needs to be. There's a lot of tightening up that still needs to happen with the piece. He told me about some of the other things that he's doing. You look close up at it, you see where pieces of it are overlapping and this and that. So there's a lot to tighten up on it yet, and have it line up just right with the pencil drawing and all that good stuff. So
my eyes aren't that good.
No, on this thumbnail, you'll never be able to tell. So, and there's Cat Mouse's cover. Came out so cute, and she loves mermaids. She loves mermaids and dragons and all that good stuff. So the fact that there was a mermaid in the story, she was just like, that's the one she wants to do. So she was all about it. And we got Tony Moy's cover. It's all watercolor. I like, with Cat and Tony and whatever other artist is I'm lucky enough to have them draw the character. I really enjoy the fact that I'm seeing their version of the character. I enjoy that they're not trying to reproduce like my version of the character. It needs to be like how they see it, with their style, with their sensibilities, because you get something so unique. You get something. It's cool to see how they see it.
You're basically looking for long white hair and a black triangle under the eye.
As long as it's got that, and it's like, and there's a lot of other things, even with Tony's piece, like he stuck to the theme right on, but you could tell it's definitely a different Nira, but it is definitely Nira. It's definitely her, so it's really cool to see that. Makes it a lot of fun.
Now what is the all art? Oh, this is got the trade
Because
dress off of it.
it doesn't have the dress covering
Okay.
on the front cover. Yeah, he's got a picture with the
Sometimes known
back
as
cover,
virgin
which
covers.
it tends to confuse a little bit because he's got the back cover also pictured. But yeah, it's essentially a virgin cover. It just doesn't have the dress on the front, the logos and all the lettering and stuff. Right.
Yeah, and
Now
this
there is also a nude version of the action cover here. And it was basically out of by request. I got some messages about whether or not there was going to be one available because they didn't see a tier with it. So it is available, but it's only available as an add-on. So most of the things on the campaign, they're all available in the add-on store. So whichever cover you end up choosing, unless you pick one of the commissioned sketch tiers or something like that, you should be able to mix and match and add whatever it is you would like to add onto your order through the add-on pop-up window that comes up when you select your tier.
I like virgin covers only if it's something that I'm going to read and then put in a frame. Otherwise, it's like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm going to keep it as a comic, I like to sit down with my long boxes every 5 years and reshuffle them
Yeah.
because I end up with like 5 more long boxes of unsorted comics. I go, okay, it's time to pull out the other 30
Right,
boxes
right.
and put in
Yeah, I
order.
usually,
I,
yeah,
what is
I
this
usually,
book?
yeah, I like to. I think sort of on the same line as you were thinking. It's like if I get a virgin cover, that's usually the one that I'm either putting into like one of those really nice bags, or like a hard case or something like that, or hanging it up on the wall if I want. But I always get one to read and one to keep. That seems to be my formula for myself. So I would get like the regular edition, with the regular cover on it, but then I would get like the virgin cover so I could put it away, and have
And they
keep that
make
one.
frames that are made specifically for comic books now. So it's like
Oh yeah, yeah, I love
right over
those.
there. I
Hmm.
I probably won't read Kara Nicole's cosplay seasons or not the one before cosplay seasons, but
Right,
she's in the bathtub on the cover and she signed it. So
right, exactly.
oh,
So yeah,
always
exactly. I got a bunch on the wall that are like that, and I've got those the black cases with the clear front, little clamshell case that you hang up on the wall. Those are nice.
Delta. It's a
Thank you, Kevin. I keep on calling it a triangle. It's like it's called a delta. It's a delta. It's not a
how do you
triangle.
draw a delta? It's a triangle. And is that because delta means change?
You know what? Now that you mention it, yes.
We'll
No,
go
it's
with that.
delta sounds so much cooler than triangle. You know what I mean? So it's like is either that or Dorito. It's like I always had the design element, and then there were different ways that I had the character actually obtain the triangle. Like in one series, she was literally born with it, so it confused people as to why she was actually born with such a mark. It was because of all the time traveling shenanigans that somehow it made this like predestination loop happen to where when she was born, she already had it. On the new committed story that we did for the Ground Zero book, the triangle ended up being something that she, as a little kid, made herself. So she would tap a button on her earring because she comes from a futuristic technology society. So she would tap a button on her earring, and she called it a dermal. And it's just basically it's tattoos that you can make yourself that just appear digitally on your skin because you have this jewelry. And so lots of different ways. But then of course, all the other Cyber Angels had the same marking because in true 90s style, I have to mark all the characters uniquely so that
By marking them the same, right? No, yes.
marking, yeah. We kind of I branded them. So that way you know who they are. You got to know what team they're playing on.
Yeah, nobody can copy this character because that's my right down to the face. That's my character.
Right down to the cheekbone.
Like somebody could, draw Bruce Wayne, but prove it. Prove it's Bruce Wayne.
Right.
What's Bruce Wayne look like? Nobody knows. He looks different, in every issue. He's just got dark hair and muscular build. Even Jim Aparo drew him differently from book to book sometimes.
it happens. Bruce Wayne is always going to be slightly different.
Clark was always the same because he only had one suit.
Well, he lives on a reporter's budget. I mean, it's like he's got a
Yeah.
small apartment. He lives in a big city. It's a lot of money.
And
Yeah, there's
yes, I
Waffle.
know Clark Kent has two suits technically, but
Yeah,
only got the one.
Waffle Alexander Mouse. Just so everybody knows that they should add on a little extra so that way I can buy this little guy some treats. You know,
Aw.
he's really patient. You know, when we have to sit down and actually work, you know, he'll sit down, curl up in his little bed next to us on the floor, and let us do our work until something makes him bark at something out the window. And so, you know, he deserves special snacks and treatment for all of this studio time that he's spending.
Is that a little chocolate dachshund?
Yeah, he's a little mini Dotson. He's like a dark brown, I think of him as especially when he starts growling a little bit. I kind of think of him as a little leather sports car.
Had a friend who ran a German Shepherd rescue, and every once in a while the dogs would just like get in a fight with each other, and it's never just two dogs fighting; it's like 7 dogs fighting.
Of course, yeah.
And he would run out there into the middle of them and just go, "Shut up!" And they'd all like scatter. I'm like, "You just ran into a mess of German Shepherds." He's like, "You just have to look bigger than them."
I
And they'll
wouldn't.
back down.
I wouldn't even run into a 7 mini Dotsons. They all got
No.
teeth.
Well, yeah, and yeah, well, that's what I was saying. It's like, you know, he's like, you know, if you're bigger than them, they back down. I'm like, explain Chihuahuas. He's like, oh well, they know they got nothing to lose.
That's what it is.
They're going
I
out
knew
in
there
full
was.
of glory.
I knew there was a secret.
Oh, like I'm
Yeah,
gonna
well-
die. Might as well go out angry.
Man, yeah, Waffles is a good little dog. He's fantastic. He's my dude.
I've got a great big boxer named Tesla. Yeah, she is named Tesla.
Uh-huh.
I thought, what a weird name, but it's a last name, so yeah, why not? They're
No,
sure
it's
they're-
cool, man.
I'm sure there's still other Tesla family members running around, right?
Have a logo with the dog and have like electricity coming off of the dog. It's like be cool looking, like the
cat named
Flash.
Schrodinger.
Where's the cat? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea.
He could
Check
be
the
here,
box.
He could be outside. He could
I
be
know.
both.
Check the box. I don't want to.
Now,
Yeah, this.
you talked about the Mercy mouse pad. This is the
Yep,
bottom.
Yep. This is a bottom featuring the Mercy's bottom mouse pad. It's good
No.
for those carpal tunnel syndrome.
I'm going to go to hell for this. So the jiggle mouse pads have been a thing for a long time now.
They have been. Yep.
I've got a Power Girl boobs mouse
Yep.
pad right here.
Mhm.
But the thought was crossing my mind as you said this, and then I saw how to build it, and now I'm like, no. It's like, yeah, if it's a little loose, it could be like a twerking mouse pad. I'm like, oh wait, what if you put like a little hand? What if you put like a little massager vibrator in each cheek, and you could turn your mouse pad on while your hand is there, and it could give you massage your wrist.
That would
Like-
be hilarious. Oh my god.
Now,
And
somebody
this is-
run out and make that happen.
I know, right? Now, I had to twist Tom's arm on this one. Not very hard, mind you, but it's like, yeah, he knew that I wanted some of these 3D mouse pads, and it's like there's a lot of anime, manga, kind of Japanese products that are very traditional for me. So I'm just like, yeah, it'd be so cool to have one of these.
And you know the pillowcase is the other one. We haven't seen that yet, but it's here.
Oh yeah, it's there. It's there.
These are the standees you did before.
No, those are the new ones. The first campaign, we did Nira and we did Mercy. For this campaign, we've got Evil Nira and we've got Allura. And then we're still deciding on who to make for the issue 3 campaign. But the idea is to have on issue 3, when we do come out with issue 3, we'll have like a little diorama or something that I'll have artwork, that's actually behind this. That way you could stand them up like kind of like a little set. I just think it would be a lot of fun to do that.
What I haven't seen anybody do, and I brought this up before, and I brought it up on a previous show, so if I'm repeating myself, just say, yeah, we talked about it. Go on. Color forms.
Color forms.
You remember color forms?
It's ringing a
Okay.
bell, but it's not popping into my head.
So,
It's like it's not.
so when we were kids, there were these like
Yeah.
thin little boxes, trays,
Right.
and you'd take the top off, and like first 2/3 of it was like the city, just a
Right.
city scene. And then over here in this other third were all these characters, sometimes repeating in different poses,
Hmm.
on flexible vinyl cling, and you pulled them
Oh,
off and you put them
you're
on the
talking
face.
about you're talking about Presto Magic.
Kind of.
That's exactly what Presto. I mean, I'm sure it's the same thing by a different brand or a different name or whatever. But yeah, I had a bunch of those when I was a kid. I had a bunch of those. I had the city, and I'd have like Spider-Man or some character or whatever like that, and you could pose
Yeah.
them, and you could peel them off. You could reposition them like many times as
Yeah,
you want.
Presto
Make
Magic
it.
was dry transfer, so you'd scratch them onto it.
You
But
know what? You're
colorful was,
right, dude. You're right. Presto Magic was that you transferred it, you scratched it, yeah, with a coin or something. Yeah, that's right. Which means
oh,
the other one with the vinyl one that you could reposition. Maybe I just didn't remember the name of them. But I certainly remember them because I had a bunch of them.
Kevin, I bought blank Shrinky Dink paper. It's Shrinky Dink sheets. Because I was thinking the very same thing here. It's like, oh, I can make Shrinky Dinks of things. Let me tell you something about Shrinky Dinks.
Mhm.
The ink from your inkjet printer does not stay on them.
Oh,
It just smears right off.
it just smears off. That's too
And
bad.
it doesn't dry. So if you want to do Shrinky Dinks, you've got to get permanent marker still, and you still got to trace through the plastic.
Right. I
thought,
got you.
Wouldn't it be cool if I could just like put out a sheet of these things, and then,
Mhm.
I could use them as proof of concept for stretch goal items. Look, print a
Yeah.
sheet of Nira-X, the Cyber Angels, and
Mhm.
just tell people to cut them out along the lines, put them on your baking tray, put them in the oven at 350 for
Mhm.
10 minutes,
Yep.
and pull out your Shrinky Dinks. Three double D mouse.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I noticed that.
More puns than you could put in 3 words.
Trust me,
Man,
if Tom finds a manufacturer for that, you never know. That could be next.
yeah, we want the mouse pads. We make the mouse pads. We want them bigger.
And there's our we actually have normal size pillows this time. So it's not the long body pillow that we had from the first campaign. Even though he does have a couple of those long body pillows left. I think it maybe has like 2 or 3 of those still in stock. And I think they're on the campaign.
Nothing wrong with that. And this is if you just want the
Mhm.
pillow. And then you got the pin. Is this an add-on or is this a tier?
That's a tier.
Okay.
But I'm sure that it's available in the add-on store too. So just in case if somebody wanted to grab it and they've got a different tier or something like that, they can still mix and match things. So
and then the commissioning of the original art. This is what I've got to do this.
right.
gotta
So
add you into my
Mog
pack.
Park, I think Mog only has 6 spots available, I think. And the ones that you see up on the campaign page right there, those images, those are just samples to show you the style. She'll be illustrating like Cyber Angel characters just for those covers. She just wanted you to see like what style they were going to be drawn in. Mm-hmm.
And then that's hers, and then you've got yours. You'll be drawing some Nira-X.
Right, exactly. And then those are just like I said, so just samples, just to kind of show people like what level of art they're going to get as far as like detail, the way it looks, with pencil, or if it's an ink and color, that sort of thing. And they could read through those tiers and see what the commission stuff comes with.
Like the long-haired Catwoman in Vampirella's monokini.
That was fun to mash up.
Yeah, I'm seeing elements of everything here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mashing up characters is fun.
Oh, so fun.
That's why I love the Marvel DC amalgam universe so much. I mean,
oh yeah,
I don't think it had staying power, but it had great one-shot power.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly.
So yeah, if you guys want some original art, color tiers.
Mm-hmm.
Red Sonja.
Always loved drawing Red Sonja. I can't help myself.
And then you get the add-on. This is a cover add-on.
Yeah, there's another cover add-on, and this one. Yep.
It just keeps going and going and going.
I know. There's a few extra things, and then he's got some extra things near the bottom where you can get some extras. Like he's got some some other issues from other titles that Committed has published. He's got issues 1, 2, and 3, I believe, of our first miniseries, our first Nira-X miniseries with Committed. There's the long body pillow. So that's the front.
I
That's
saw
the
the
back.
creases.
So
I'm like, was this like a fold-out poster? No, it's a pillow.
yeah, it's so long. I have it hang. I've got one hanging in my storeroom, but it's like a banner. It's like I got it hanging back there like a banner.
The Committed Comics pin. All
Mhm.
Where's
There
my
you go.
toolbar? Okay, there it is. We're reaching the end of stuff here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's almost at the bottom now. Now these are just all extras that can be added on. So he's got issues 1, 2, and 3 of our first miniseries. If you wanted to catch up with that, got some issues here from other books that Committed has published from their comics library.
Titles that entice. God Among Men.
Mhm.
That's right up there in my wheelhouse. I like reading that kind of stuff. All right.
Yep, and that's all. That's all of our goodies. And like I said, it's like 5 days left to go. Like I would really love to just get as many people in as possible. I want people to check out the character. I want people to read the story. It is a 90s style action sci-fi superhero comic book. It's escapism. It's just fun. The book doesn't really take itself that seriously, especially considering how serious the subject matter could be with entire universes. It's so over the top that it's almost like you almost have to not take it too seriously. It's just a lot of fun and a lot of cool action and a lot of cool interaction between the characters. And because I love some of the way the dialogue rolls between some of the characters and the way these events kind of unfold. And it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of 90s fun. It's escapist fun. We're not here to. Mm-hmm.
She's appeared with other characters. I mean, back in the Wild West days of the 90s, you could cross over with lots of people. If it were the same environment today, and let's just open it up to all of it, who's your dream crossover to throw Nira-X into a story with?
Wow, that's been off the table for so long that
off the top table's of my got head, more people in it now.
Yeah, the table does have a lot more people, and there's a possible crossover thanks to one of our live streams recently. There's a possible crossover that might be in the works for something that we'll do maybe after the summer with another character who is also doing well in the YouTube Kickstarter sphere, and I'll reveal who that is fairly soon. But I'm talking with the publisher of that particular character. I'm very excited because it's you really could open things up. Nira has appeared recently in the War of the Independents by Dave Ryan, so she was made a small little appearance in there. I think she's actually appearing again. I saw a big group shot with a whole bunch of characters. They're very, very George Perez, very giant group of superheroes, and I saw her back in there. So I was just like, oh, awesome. Yeah, Dave, go for it. So
he won't tell you who, but that would be kind of cool. Now that he said it, I'm like, I want to see that.
Very, very positive. It's somebody that I think would make a good match. And I think the two of them, these two characters, going off into a completely separate adventure that's separate from both of their titles. It's just the two of them surviving a specific thing. I think it would work really well. I think it would be a lot of fun. Yeah.
I'd like to write the story that would pair off Nira-X and Galactus, just because they're both from a destroyed universe. I'm like, what if it was the same one? What if
Would that be kind of crazy? Yeah. Just kind of play around with that idea, right?
Yeah. And he's partially at fault for and I write it on the fly. It's like it wasn't just Paradox. Paradox's experiment would have been just fine if Galactus's experiment had been going at the same time and futzed things up. And so it's his fault that the universe got destroyed, and she's a little angry about it, or Paradox a little angry about it, and she's got to keep them from destroying this one or that.
Exactly. Man, just playing around with ideas like that, it's like that'd be so fun.
Just throw them in the bowl and mix them up and bake it. Who knows? Nira-X and Lady Death. Yes, I can see that. All right. Well,
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
yes. Folks, the very first link below this video is going to take you to this Kickstarter. Go to this Kickstarter. Put some money at this Kickstarter. And, find the tier that matches you. And
there you go.
You'll be happy. You will enjoy this. They can get it. Oh, so much stuff scroll by. Can they still get number 1 if they missed number 1?
I believe yes. I will say yes, they can. It should
Probably
be in
add-on
the it should be in the add-on. It should be in the add-on store if they missed number 1. And there's also because we didn't offer the sketch cover for issue 1 for anybody who's interested in getting a sketch cover. We are offering a sketch cover for issue 2, and Tom is including the sketch cover for issue 1 along with that. I think he grouped it together as a pack.
Yeah,
so
I did see that.
Okay, cool.
All right, Bill, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, dude.
You're going to be back. You're going to be back like next month or the month after for your next project. And do you want to tell people what you're going to be doing?
Sure. The next project coming up is actually a big full circle project for us. It's going to be for First Comics. The co-creator of Zen Intergalactic Ninja is actually Steve Stern. He's actually writing it. It's called Zen Bounty Wars. And other than the fact that I'm excited, I've been working with Steve for 30 years. I've worked with him since the 90s, since we first started out. And other than the fact that it's always fun to work with him on something new, I'm also excited because it's also a crossover with Nira-X again. So Nira-X is one of the bounty hunter characters that's going to be with Zen on this 4-issue miniseries. So I do hope that everybody checks it out. It's supposed to launch on March 21st. As we get a little bit closer to the date, I'll post, of course, the link on all my socials and try to share it out. Of course, I need everybody's help always in sharing and liking, and because the only way that somebody like me at this digital stage of my life can beat the algorithm is because everybody out there is actually sharing it and liking it and kind of like pushing it past the algorithm. So I can't really depend on just grassroots, depending on X or depending on Facebook to push my posts just simply because they're organically next in line to be pushed. So yeah, I really do need everybody's help to help you spread
That's
that
like
out.
releasing a book to Amazon and saying, okay, Amazon, sell my book.
Right, exactly. You need all the help that you can get to guide people towards where the book is at. And you guys, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have been still doing this now. It's like that's the help and that's a support that I've gotten since I first started in the 90s. And that's the reason we're able to do these fun things together. So thank you so much, and help do Bill a solid.
Yes, we keep doing them, and we're all going to do more separately and together in the future. So
absolutely.
Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for popping in. We don't have a show without you. We're just a podcast falling in the woods otherwise. So we're glad you're here. And of course, while you were here, as always, we just hope you had a blast. Good night, everybody.